This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
Let me ask you a question. Would you agree that in one way or another, cancer has become a part of your life? Maybe it's a loved one who's battling the disease. Maybe it's you. Well, we always talk about the importance of having a solid support system during that fight, and for a good reason. Studies show support during a cancer battle can reduce a patient's anxiety as well as improve self-image and ability to cope. Well, Lisa Barnes and Jane Vickers are social workers with Peninsula Regional Medical Center's Richard A. Henson Cancer Institute. They're here to discuss some of the most important support available. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
For joining us this afternoon. So tell us about the cancer support services that are offered at the Richard A. Henson Cancer Institute.
Okay. We offer support to individuals and through groups. We also do educational sessions. We do healthy living or survivorship things, and we offer social activities. Like this past year we did a in-service or workshop on advanced directives. Then we also did, we have our Survivor Day for the social piece, and then a Christmas party. Those are always fun. Yeah. We have healthy living activities like seated yoga, Tai Chi, healthy cooking. We have all of those sort of things.
Lots of things going on.
Yeah, there's also a lot of services people don't know about. We have dietitians, we have pastoral care, we have speech and physical therapy evaluations, we have social work, we have patient navigation, we have a lot of different things, and people sometimes are not aware of all of the things that we do.
Okay, well let me ask you this. We have said so many times, we continue to say it, you're saying it now, support is so important for someone after diagnosis, during treatment. Is it really? Why is it really?
Well, I think for patients and their families, oftentimes once they're diagnosed, they feel isolated. They aren't quite sure what to do with how they're feeling. And so much attention is placed on the medical aspects that the piece that we can provide is trying to help patients and their caregivers, their families, sort of navigate through the system and have a place to share and just talk about the other aspects of their life besides the cancer.
There's a lot of emotional stuff that comes along with it.
Very much so.
Yeah, we like to look at the whole person. There's a lot of people taking care of the medical side, but through our other services and therapies and things like that, and involvement with different people that work in our center, we all talk. And we come together as a team, and we talk about our patients and provide, all of us working together. Someone will come and make a referral to us. It could be, our referrals are open-ended, so anybody can make them to us. But a lot of times we want to look at that emotional side, the fear. We also want to look at stressors that may affect their ability to, get to treatment or get through treatment.
When it comes to the support group themselves, that would include you, that would include family, I guess.
Yes.
It's important to take care of the caregivers as well, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I think a lot of times in healthcare we focus on the patient and the diagnosis, and we assume the families and the caregivers are okay, but their lives are also disrupted, right. And a lot of times they're trying to maintain their normal routines with work and responsibilities at home, and they have the additional job of supporting the patient, getting them to appointments, taking care of them at home. And so we really try to build services for them as well, and join them in their cancer journey, so that we can try to do some things just to make a difficult situation a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And caregivers and patients sometimes don't talk to each other about the cancer, because one is afraid that they will bring the other down, or they're afraid to express their fears to each other. And so when we are able to focus on the caregiver, oftentimes we can help them talk to each other about the disease.
Right.
And if we can't get them to talk to each other, we focus on getting them to talk about their fears
Make
and
sure they're
things that we
okay.
can help. Because I had a patient many years ago that he was very sick, and his job was outside of the house. He did everything, and he was the thing he was the most upset about, not even the cancer. His wife had to cut the grass.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he worried and worried about that.
So that was difficult.
Yeah, so we got him to talk about it, and he saw that, you know, it was necessary, but he still didn't like it.
But he worked it.
Yeah, but they, you know, they just don't. Sometimes they don't talk.
They're afraid to burden one another
Yeah.
in that respect.
So let me ask you this. You've got a location in Salisbury, you have a location in Ocean Pines. Are services available in both locations?
Yes.
Yeah, and some of the services are the same, like our general support group, and then we have some services that are unique to each location. But regardless of where the patient is being treated, they're welcome to participate in the services at either of our locations. And we publish a bi-monthly newsletter that includes a calendar with all the programs and services that we're offering
It's
for
available,
that time.
just take advantage of it.
That's right.
Just one other little thing I wanted to mention. We have partnerships too
Yes.
with a lot of the community agencies like MAC, Women Supporting Women, American Cancer Society, Coastal Hospice. So through our partnerships with them, we're often able to offer more services.
That's one. That's absolutely. Lisa Barnes, Jane Vickers with PRMC. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
joining us
Thanks for
this
having us.
afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.